Hi, my name is Austin Harris, and this is the 7th Creativity Journal log. This week we talked about idea mache, and we also talked about just kind of like the web and social media's impact on our culture. Um, and I think this is a pretty important topic because I feel like so much of the cultures have changed over the years. Now almost everyone in a room will have a Facebook. They pointed out, and it's true. Most of them will have a Twitter, and few will have Instagram and other things like that. Now, why is this important? Well, I mean, it's a way to market information. It's a way to get an idea across. There's so many different uses for these social networking sites. People use them for advertisements. People, they find reasons to make these a useful tool for their companies. But today, we had the pleasure of hosting Rima and Andrew, uh, two grad students, I believe, that came and talked to us about Idea Mache and the social media sites and everything like that. And they came and they spent they actually gave the lecture and everything. And Professor Venegas was in Boulder, Colorado, so he kind of introduced them, but he didn't give the lecture. So today we talked about, or this week we talked about like curation. It's beyond finding information to search, find, collect, or organize. And we talked about like what idea mache is and why we would need something like this. Well, so much of the web today is based on showing information and giving information in a different way than other people. Twitter's little tweets of just like little things that are going on. Facebook, you can put pictures, paragraphs, you can put whatever you want really on that one. Instagram is communicating by a simple picture and commenting on pictures. Pinterest, a place for recipes, pictures, you name it, and it's interesting. It's just a different type of social media. But idea mache, as defined by Professor Venegas in the online lecture, um, he said, and I quote because I feel like he explained it the best. Idea mache is a web-based tool for collecting and organizing information. Given that the whole lecture is not simply for discussing idea mache, this is for objectively a much greater purpose. And I agree with that because as I learn more about idea mache throughout lecture, I could definitely see this something that really takes off. Instead of having to go to multiple places to find information, if somebody had, all of the stuff you need for a Halloween costume, that was the example in class. If, for a recipe, all the different stuff was there, how much is it going to cost, and next to it's the link for where you'd go to buy it. It makes things easier. It's a shortcut, and people like that. And so I really, really think that this will be a successful thing in the future creation. Um, we talked about metadata, which is data about data, um, and it's basically these like a rich bookmark, just kind of putting information collectively all together, with its citing and everything. So all you have to do is click on it, and it can be as creative or as cool looking as you want. Uh, The prior work collection would include needs, resources, precedents, drivers, ingredients, points of deparative, um, and it represents prior forums as well. We will be having an assignment going this direction. We have something. We're doing an assignment with Idea Mache, and they were kind of talking about that this week as well. So we kind of needed to understand how this tool works, so that we were able to make one of our own for the special assignment, I believe. Um, and I really think that this is something that's important that we pay attention to social media. I was reading off, I took some notes. Um, I really think that the social media, and this is my own twist on the lecture, is something that is really important and shouldn't be overlooked because, we vent through social media nowadays. If I'm upset about something, then I'm going to go get on Twitter and I'm going to make a very general or not general post about it. And sometimes these social media sites are places that we express feelings that otherwise we would know where else express. Um, I know for a fact when I'm upset about something, sometimes it makes me feel better to talk about it, and not necessarily with other people. Sometimes I just need to vent, and if I have a social media site, if I have Twitter and I want to tweet about something that upset me with a person and that's important to me in my life, then I do that and it makes me feel better. But the important thing is when I do that, everyone that follows me now kind of knows what I'm, you know, thinking in my head. So this is kind of a weird new culture of technology, but at the same time is very useful. Facebook, you find out all kinds of things about people and can keep in touch with them years after you've seen them. I know people that I have not that I had not seen. There was one person in particular that's one of my current best friends that I had not seen in about 8 years. Found him on Facebook, reconnected with him, and then junior year of high school we started hanging out until we graduated. Now he's in the Air Force. I definitely think these are important, and I definitely think that they're progressing and only going to be the next best thing. You see MySpace, the fall of MySpace, it kind of fades. Then you see Facebook. Then you see Twitter. And you see all of these they keep them coming. I mean, and it's what's the next big thing? And I feel like it's important for us to be thinking that way too. What's the next big thing? How can I be how can I, be involved in that? I'll tell you right now, everybody that didn't really know anything about Facebook but invested in them when they were first starting off, I'm sure they were pretty happy about that once they really picked up. And it's just it's important to stay on top of all the things that are being created in this world, especially the social media and the way we talk and connect with others.